So, double digits of a couple conversations. Today, we're going to be talking about how to be more zen in this chaotic life. Yeah.
Are we talking about how to be more zen or just like we would like to practice being more zen?
Well, you said how to be more zen, but I think when I was saying it in myself, I was like, I admire how clear and level-headed things seem to be in your existence. And you were like, I wish they were more clear. And then I was like, well, and so, yeah, we're talking about the years of practice in perspective shift and how we handle the expected and unexpected and natural frustrations that we experience as humans.
Okay.
So, so yeah, be how to be more zen, not necessarily like a how-to video, but how are we working on that?
Okay. Do you feel like you are zen? Like you have
Sometimes
sometimes? Okay. Do you feel like you're most of the time not?
I feel like I don't know if neurotic is the right word, but I feel like that quite a bit of the time, and I think like I'm earth signs through and through, so I'm very earthy, very zen, very chill. I'm the grounding rock for a lot of people, but in my personal life and in my home space, it's kind of like earthquakes,
Earthquakes. Oh, okay.
Like I'm like, whoa, 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 we gotta figure this out. But then I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
this is fine.
Okay, so what are some challenges that you're finding um, in your journey to, become more calm, less quaky?
I like that. Calm, less quaky. What are some challenges?
Because you made a distinction. You said, I'm very down to earth and solid, but then when you're in the home, it's like a different environment and it's more quaky. So what's the difference between being out there in the world where you can be more calm and level-headed, and then when you're in the home and you're more quaky?
I think I'm more quaky in the home because it's like always easier. It's easier said than done, right? It's easier to help other people deal with their things than to deal with your
Mm.
things. And I think I do a pretty good job at looking my things in the face and dealing with them. However, it's not as elegant, I
Mm.
guess I would say. And in the home, it's my safe space, so I'm allowed to be a little quaky and a little bit more in touch with emotion and whatnot at a level that I may not prefer to show the outside world.
Okay.
However, in my home, I prefer Zen,
Okay, you prefer Zen.
which I think
Now,
we still get.
are you preferring Zen because you've experienced it as a third party, or are you preferring Zen because you've experienced it first person?
I think both. I think I've experienced it first person. I've been able to give myself Zen, um, but it was more of a your only option right now is to be Zen. And I sat in that and with that and really ended up enjoying it. And so I think that's how I have experienced it first person. In third person, I've been a provider of Zen.
A provider of Zen. So in your world, is Zen something that can be given and received?
Possibly.
Oh, I'm asking you. You're saying possibly. I'm saying like I'm
Yeah.
asking you like in your world, what is it?
In my world, I've been able to be a Zen space for people, or provide Zen, or be the Zen. Like, people.
Zen, 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 Zen,
No,
Zen,
cause,
Zen.
cause let's talk about it. People will say, "Wow, Jinji, you're so level-headed. You're so calm. You have this grounded energy about you." People who are into astrology, when they find out my zodiac, they're like, "Oh, that makes perfect sense." And so I'm this rock
But
that
does okay, but does people in the outside world, outside of you saying it, make it actually true?
in some realities, because I think that there is a lot of truth to that in my own personal existence as well with myself, and the way I handle things. However, there's a lot more to it, and a lot of in a lot of ways, I am the way I am because I've had to be the way that I am. And so now
Okay.
I'm trying to combine that. Okay, this is what we need and this is what we have to have. So make it make sense. Make that zen and the quake have a balance because, like any earth, the ground is not always solid. People just assume that it is.
Mm, okay. Okay. So so you're wanting to be less quaky here in your home space, wanting to be more calm. So I asked you in your world, like, is Zen something to be given and received? In my understanding of being, I don't want to keep using the word Zen. It's like
Calm,
it's
relaxed.
sure all of these things, right? You guys know what we're talking about. So to be, it's more of a state of being
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to something that can be provided and received, like traded,
Mm-hmm.
given. Now, the energy that you embody can most definitely extend past, your personal space and into a space, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, why is it that when a particular person enters the room,
Mm-hmm.
they have an energy about them where people are looking, you know what I mean? Or they grab people's attention when they speak, or their lack of speaking draws attention. Like, what is it?
I
Right? So
think that's
there's
what I mean. Yeah.
so there's like this energy that can be felt. I don't know if it's received. I can definitely say that when it's felt, there are people out there who want to take it. They want it for themselves. Those are fucking energy vultures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people who just take because they feel like you have so much to give, and then you realize it's like you're not even giving them that calm spirit. They're just taking your spirit
Mm-hmm.
from you,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden you're left being not calm, and it's like, well, why am I uncalm
Mm-hmm.
and you're not calm either?
Like
You're
this
just
isn't even
taking
my
from me.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like what is going on right now?
Yeah.
So
I think that's what I mean. Yeah. Like I completely agree with you. The presence, I think that what people experience of me is there's this presence, there's this energy, and some people try to take that, or some people feel more relaxed in my presence, right? Like from my experience, you provide a sense of zen and calm in my life.
mm-hmm,
And so I feel that with you, but I also feel that I'm able to reach my own personal state of calm when I'm with you rather than take your calm.
mm-hmm,
It's like, okay, he's here. He's grounding and refocusing us. So then when I'm in my quaky space, I can come back and I can be grounded and then I can find my inner voice that is meant to be calm,
mm. So
if
do
that
you
makes sense.
so do you find it takes you a while
Oh
to
yeah.
be like to be like, oh, he's trying to find some steady sturdy ground to stand on?
Yeah. I think sometimes it happens more quickly than other times. And then sometimes, I've been subconsciously depleting myself so much that there are so many voices to sift through that I can't directly or more easily find that. And so then I'm over here like da 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 da, and we're like, okay, we're over here, da, 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 we're right here.
Mm. Okay, so the what I'm hearing is that you could be bouncing
Yeah.
between states of mind, states of feeling, states of being. Do you like what in your life might contribute to the lack of being able to concentrate and be in a state of being for a prolonged period of time to prevent that bouncing? Do you think that there's anything in your life that's like creating a barrier?
Mm. Well, we've kind of talked about this, and I've implemented those steps to kind of bridge that gap or eliminate the over processing or overstimulation of the external world. Is like, turning your notifications off other than your phone or your email, like whatever you need for your working day so you can stay focused. Not getting sucked into binge watching things so much. Like you can have time to do that and like let off steam and enjoy that, but it shouldn't be convoluted with everything the tasks at hand.
Mm.
Even in the home, while I'm doing an activity, I've grown to enjoy background noise via, an episode or whatever. But rather filling that time with just the noises of the kitchen or my inner workings allow me to actually process what's going on in my mind rather than all these other ideas that might not even be mine, that I might not agree with, or that don't serve me.
Mm.
So, less stimulation is something that I'm working on because overstimulation causes a barrier.
Hmm. Yes. So I don't know when, but I know at some point we had talked about it, and we had talked about how, we take on other people's energy throughout the day, and one of the forms that we take people's energy through is like through phone calls, through through whatever medium. If you're conversing or you're exchanging something with people, you're exchanging an energy. So it could be a phone call with with your significant other or one of your parents or, your own kid. It's like you're taking on the feelings of other people. You're taking on the ideas. When you're talking about social media, it's a big one. Um, when being distracted and escaping becomes a norm, becomes something that's comfortable, you are less likely to spend time with yourself. And the less time that you spend with yourself creates a scenario where you're not able to achieve a very calm spirit. Why? How could you? Because you're not living in a state of energy that you recognize.
Yeah.
You don't even recognize your own calm state of energy. So how can you embody it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thing about that is, social media has changed so much where, this is a social platform as well. Um, but so many, there's so much more pressure to have it be like, a 7-second download, something like that. And so then you're sitting there, and I've done this as well, to a fault. And so that's something I'm working on. You're sitting there scrolling these 7-second, 10-second videos, and there's like completely different ideas, completely different energies, completely different vibes. And so then it's natural that your mind would then become accustomed to this zoom, 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 and then you get lost. So very well said that you said. It's just like so much information and so many short inklings of time that we don't even know our subconscious is picking up on that. So it's like, wow.
Yeah, throwing us all out of whack. And then we come to like sit down and talk about something, and then we're wondering why shit is hitting the fan. And then as, the dust settles, it's like, why am I even mad?
Yeah.
It's like, well, because you're expressing a whole bunch of things that might not be you. It might not be yours. You're probably expressing energy wasted, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm so frustrated because I just wasted all of this time today, and I feel like I didn't accomplish nothing. I didn't get any momentum doing what it is that I want to do, and or I say that I want to do. So there's like a layer of untruthfulness.
Hmm.
I don't even know if that's a word, but being untruthful to yourself, right? So that all builds up, and then it can prevent you from achieving a calm state of mind. And it's something that, is practiced. It's not something that somebody's born with. It's not their personality. Some people might be more akin to it. You might be like, oh wow, that person has a calm spirit. But then you look into their childhood. If you could like use a little,
Mm-hmm.
magic ball and look into their childhood, they were always the kid that was kind of quiet in the corner and just like analyzing things. You know what I mean? And then when problems arose to them, they were kind of like, yo, ma, there's some stuff going on over there, and I'm not trying to get with it. But then you got the kids that are the ones causing the problems. They might be, have a little bit more of a challenging time obtaining a state of being calm because they were always like, yo, where's the fun? You know what I mean? What's going on? Like, what are y'all doing? And also, I got I got 8 years on Jinji, so I have 8 more years of practicing, and I still fall, fail flat on my face. There's like times where I'm just heated, bro, And it's like, I'm like, why am I mad?
Hated.
It says heated. And then other times I'm like, I'll be straight up with you. I'm like, yo, and Jinji calls me. She calls me out. She'll be like, you're moody today. I'm like, I am moody. I am moody. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But in those moody, like moody moods, it's important to recognize for me that I am moody, and I'm going to try to save Jinji from the mood as much as possible, because being moody and then being like, well, let me just stop being moody, it's just not a thing. Sometimes you just got to process something and you don't know what it is, and it can take a while. It can be a day, it can be 2 days, it can be 5 minutes. It's like you have to let yourself be in that state and then master being in that state of being. Find the calm when you're not calm,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when it matters most.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if you're just finding calm when you're calm, it's like, well, that's not really stretching.
Yeah.
It's not challenging.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of kind of what you were saying about the shortened patience or the shortened, um, yeah, like patience or capacity is like when you're overstimulated by all of these things and then, you sit down to have a calm conversation, you're like irritable already and it has nothing to even do with the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you drained your bandwidth and then are, subconsciously frustrated, like you said, about the time wasted or whatever you were processing, that your brain, your physical being is overstimulated and like, please, can we actually have some quiet?
Yeah.
And then you actually take away all the other things and try to have an interaction, but you're irritated. And that's, like you said, when you need to pause.
Yeah. Yeah. Just take a moment, take a pause, take a
Yeah.
breather. All right. Well, I think it's been a great discussion. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I feel good about it.
I feel good too.
Let
Yeah.
us know what you think and any experiences or insights that you've had on this topic. Been another episode. Yeah. What's up?
Peace.